Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Lucia Global Perspectives. I'm welcoming you to a special segment, Today's Hero, and I have with me in the studio our young, handsome, energetic, humorous, smart hero. Indeed, I will call him our youth ambassador, our trending youth ambassador, Lucan Ozhioma Akpati. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
I am so excited because our son Lucan has so many laurels. He has achieved and accomplished so much. We are so proud of him. I call him my West African hero. I call him my Nigerian hero. Recently, he performed beyond imagination in his West African examination and came out with a streak of all A1s. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. But while we're here, permit me to introduce to you the proud daddy. Joining us on the show is Lucan's dad, Benson Akpati. Benson, you have the microphone and you need to unmute so that it will work. Welcome to the show. Can you tell us how you feel about your son's wonderful accomplishments? Go ahead and share with us.
Thank you very much. It was indeed a great honor to have seen his performance, which I believe is a combination of dedication, commitment, and focus, and also with the grace of God working in his life. You know, this has reverberated all over the country, you know, and a lot of people are actually saying that truly, indeed, he has answered his name, which is good news. And the news is good to every person in Nigeria. Thank you.
Wow, proud daddy. I cannot even begin to imagine your joy and how proud you are of your son. In case you're just joining us, we're speaking with the Akpati family. You can see the results. Let me spotlight the result. Let me focus on this wonderful result that makes me call him our hero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 A1s. Wonderful streak of stellar, excellent performance by our very own Akpati, Lucan Ozhioma. It doesn't get any better than this. And if you're not familiar with the system in Nigeria, in West Africa, all the students are required to take a final exam after their high school. And that is a determining exam with which they go on to college and, performance is measured and all of that. And our dear son, Lucan, had a streak of all 9 A1s. So today we're celebrating him as our Nigerian hero, as our youth ambassador, as our West African hero. Tell us, Lucan, how does it feel? How do you feel about your success?
It feels great. I feel very accomplished, fulfilled, putting a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, finally getting the results I feel I deserved. It really paid off, and I really thank God.
Wow. So it's one thing to put in effort. It's another thing to be rewarded with success after working so hard. Now, let us back up a little bit. Tell us about your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, because there must be a lot of things that have come into the mix for you to achieve this success. So what is the secret? What are your likes, your dislikes, and your hobbies?
Well, as for my likes, I like playing soccer a lot. I like watching football. I also like playing video games. I have some game consoles at home. So those are the things I really enjoy doing. I won't really say I really enjoy reading a lot, actually. I actually don't really enjoy reading, but I just have to do it. My dislikes, I really don't like dishonesty, things like pride, indiscipline. It really doesn't help a person to move forward in life and just as a person. So yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. It's interesting to me that amongst the things you mentioned about as your likes is video games, football, and soccer. Because some of us will be thinking that in order to achieve such a stellar performance, that you must be a bookworm. And on top of which you now say you really don't like reading. Okay, that comes to me as a surprise because at some point you're going to have to tell us the success, the secret of the success, and share with other youths, how they can be successful. But we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Can you share with us, of all these subjects that you've performed so well in, can you share with us which one was the most challenging? And for our viewers, just in case you're just joining us, this is the result we're talking about. A1, data processing. A1, civic education. A1, English language. A1, further mathematics. We're not talking about just ordinary mathematics. We're talking about further mathematics. A1, mathematics. A1, biology. A1, chemistry. I'm almost singing a song with this. A1, physics. A1, computer studies. Which of this was the most challenging for you?
I feel the most challenging subject for me was English language. Like over the years, I've actually really struggled with English language. It's one thing to speak the language, it's another thing to actually do well in the subject. So throughout my stay in school, I never really had A's in English language, but I just made sure that in the final exam, I put all my efforts and then I just managed to get the A1. Very good.
Okay, so when you say you put all your effort in this language, in this course that was challenging, I want you to describe for our viewers, what does this effort look like? Talk to us about how did you prepare for all the subjects and how did you prepare especially for this one that you felt was, a challenge? What were your strategies? What were the resources? How did you make it happen?
Well, so for English language in particular, I first of all bought myself a dictionary so that I can familiarize myself with new words, learn how to pronounce them, learn their meanings and things like that. So I bought myself a dictionary. I didn't play in class. Every time the teacher was teaching, I would like pay attention, take notes, es- especially in English classes. I didn't really like missing any English class. I always focus. And I kept on looking at what the teacher says, like the guidelines towards essay writing or summary writing for comprehension, the guidelines. There are always tips and tips and tips. So you just have to keep on learning more and more and more until you reach your end.
Okay, so those are the strategies you used to overcome whatever challenges you had with the English. You talked about using buying a dictionary and using it to learn new words, new pronunciations, and the meanings of words. You talked about focusing, paying attention, taking notes, not missing classes, and you talked about guidelines for essays. We're still going to come to your day-to-day strategies, the habits that led you to this success streak. But just before that, what was some of the, I'm not sure how the exam is, framed, but
Okay.
can you talk to us about maybe like an essay that you wrote after you, learned all this essay writing strategies and all the words and all that? What was the essay what was the winning essay?
Okay, so in WAEC, we are meant to writing like two essays. There's summary essay, and then there's an essay where you have to pick. We pick one out of five. It's a
Mhm.
450 word essay. So there's formal letter, informal letter, there's debate writing, article writing, and so many others. So
Wow.
I personally prefer formal letters because I just like them and I do better at them. So for formal letters, there's a particular format we have to follow, and then I made sure I followed that format because over time I had done the letter so many times that all I needed was a question and points, and I'll just fit
So
that in.
what was the question? What was the letter you wrote?
To be
You don't
honest,
remember.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So what was the other essay that you said you had to do 2 essays?
Okay, it was summary writing. I think they gave us a passage and then we're meant to summarize it. So that essay was about agriculture, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, that's interesting, and it's actually interesting that you don't even remember the letter because you must have just you were done with it after the
yeah,
exam.
yeah. Like I don't really like remembering what I wrote in the exam because like when we come out, people are spilling answers and then you don't know if you're going to be correct or not. So I'm not that
Right.
guy. So I keep to myself. I
You finish and you just move on. That's a wonderful perspective to life. So now let's talk about the other subjects. The one that you were, kind of concerned about, worried about, you overcame your concern, you did very well. How did you prepare for the other subjects? What is your typical day like?
okay.
While you are preparing for your WAEC, what's a typical day like? What's your schedule like? What are those habits that led to your success?
Well, I feel for me, I knew my pattern. I knew what works for me. And so, like for me, I first have to listen in class. If I try and pick up a textbook first, read up a topic, I might not really get it. I might not really get anything. So I first listen in class. Then when I come back to my hostel, it's better when I revise over what I've done, it then sticks. And that was how it works for me. So I really had to pull away from a lot of friends, a lot of people that could have distracted me and, you know, probably not allowed me to get these results. It wasn't easy for me to do that, but I had to do what I had to do.
Okay, so how many hours were you studying in a day? And were you even eating at all? Did you have time for anything else? 9 A1s.
So the thing was that I knew myself that I didn't want to overread because I didn't want to undersleep. Because if
Mhm.
I undersleep, I'll be, biting myself or shooting myself in the leg. So I made sure that at 12 p.m., 12 midnight,
Mhm.
I round up whatever I'm doing and go to bed. So at least I have some time to have proper rest.
Mhm.
So immediately we get back from hostel, if I'm feeling tired, I'll just have a quick nap. And then once it's 6 or 6:30, I go to prep hall, start some reading, start some studying, then wait for dinner. We stay in the prep hall, dinner comes, you eat. After you continue reading, maybe you can just stretch your legs if you're feeling, I don't really like reading for very long hours. So sometimes I just stretch, walk around, come back. So yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of discipline. I heard you talk about, again, repeat, I'm listening in class. You talked
Mhm.
about pulling away from distraction. How old are you?
I am 17 years old right now.
It's so inspiring to hear a 17-year-old take responsibility, for
Thank you.
um for your habits, for your perspective to life, for your success goals. For a 17-year-old to have, exercised the discipline of pulling away from friends, avoiding distractions. And then you talked about a balancing of your study habits, study time, sleep time, nap time, even time to stretch. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Which what's the name of your school? Because it sounds to me like your school environment was, helpful in your having this structure. What's the name of your school?
I'm a graduate from the Ambassadors College, Ota, Ogun State.
I see. How would you say that the school contributed to your success?
Oh, the school contributed greatly, even the teachers as well. The thing was that even as you're in the prep hall, a lot of times teachers come over to have extra classes. They are always present. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you don't understand, they're always there to help you in school. Every time, break time, they can help you take your break time if you don't want to eat or something. You want to put every extra, teachers are there to help you. And the school as a whole, everything is just focused on reading, everything is just focused on passing the exams. and there's not much room for distractions except you want to distract yourself. So school really helps.
I like the way you put it. Not much room for distraction unless you want to distract yourself. And that's a 17-year-old giving us life words of wisdom. A shout out. Let me hear you give a shout out to your school for the dedication of the teachers, for their sacrifice, and for all their contribution. Go ahead and give a shout out to your school.
I just want to thank the Ambassadors College, thank Daddy and Mommy Oshewa, creating a school and creating a platform for young minds, beautiful people to grow, nurturing them into building a greater world and a greater Nigeria.
Awesome. It's like you are now their chief marketing officer. Look at the way you just, narrated their slogan. I can't even repeat it. That's great. Awesome. You will make a great ambassador for the school, for our country, for West Africa, indeed for the world. Let's talk about some other people who contributed to your success. I dare say maybe the most important persons who contributed to your success. Can you share with us how your parents worked with you along this journey and what were some specific things that they did to support you? I'm bringing back our proud daddy. Yes, so talk to us about the many ways that your parents supported your journey.
So first things first, my parents helped me to pay my school fees and my tuition. That helps, obviously to be able to go to school. And then my dad was always on my neck, always pushing me, no room for relaxation. If he sees me relaxing, he's going to ask me have you read? Have you done this? Have you done this? It was a bit tough, but it just helped to push me on, push me more till I got there. And also my mom, supporting me in every way. She was there, take care of me, listen to me when I was down, really helped my mental health. And I thank God for both of them.
You raise a very important point, and I'm going to hand the microphone in a minute to Benson Akpati, if you would unmute. You raised an important point about mental health, about the role of mommy in listening to you, supporting you, and propping you up when you were down. And I just ask the parents that are listening, to key into this and understand, recognize the importance of our role in maintaining the psychological balance, the mental health balance of our children, even as they try to achieve their life goals. Proud Daddy Benson Akpati, can you weigh in on your son's comments about how you will push and push and push, and how today we have arrived at such a beautiful outcome of all that pushing? Talk to us about your support for your son, you and your wife, to he's achieving this success.
All right, thank you very much. I can't really say that I did so much, for him, except for the basic things that parents are supposed to do. For me, I'm a man that is goal-driven, and I like also everyone around me, particularly my children, to have that at the back of their mind, that in life, the most important thing is for you to be able to fulfill your dream and achieve to your utmost potential, your maximum potential. So if, for example, somebody's potential is to have, 9 A1 and at the end he had 7 A1, yeah, people will look at it like he did well, but compared to what he could have done, in a way, he didn't do exceptionally well. So that has been for us, the way we live our lives in the house. We always want to ensure that every person have a goal and plan for himself, not just for the year, for the day, for the month, as well as for the years as well. And such that whenever I go to meet him or any of his siblings or any of them, the question I'll ask is that, have you achieved your goal? Do you understand? So like he said,
Can you hold on for a second? Viewers, if you're
Yes.
watching, we're speaking to Akpati Lucan wonderful youth ambassador with a success streak with 9 A1s in his West African examination, hard, difficult subjects, A1 in, subjects that you cannot even imagine someone doing well in one, talk less of 9, data processing, civic education, English language, further math, general math, biology, chemistry, physics, computer studies. And we are listening to his dad, Benson Akpati, joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. We might have some internet glitches here and there, but we are getting the message. He just talked to us about making sure that his children have daily goals, have monthly goals, have yearly goals. He talked to us about constantly checking to make sure that the kids are following those goals, running with them. He talked to us about a spirit of excellence, encouraging the children to be exceptional in their performance, in their accountability for what they do on a day-to-day basis. And he's going to share more of his insights with us. Go ahead, Benson.
All right. Thank you very much. So I remember at the beginning of this year, as is usually our custom, we expect that at the beginning to achieve, and we discuss it. We also say, it's not just enough to write goals. Every one of us, we know it's not just enough to write goals. You must write, what you need to do to accomplish those goals. So I can't remember exactly what was Ozhioma's goal for the year, but I know his performance in WAEC was also part of his goal. So after everything, of course, we have to discuss about it. We have to pray about it, and that is it. So I'm happy. I'm sure he achieved his goal, because for us, the most important thing about goal is breaking it down into component or small tasks.
Awesome.
Have to do. So if I have go to make like we have shared in one of our meetings, in the family meetings, if you have a goal to make A1 in further maths, for example, the question, how much of this book do I need to cover for me to be able to achieve the A1? So, and on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, you have to say, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do. At the end of the month, I need to go back to check whether I've actually complete those tasks that I was meant to do. Yes, so for me, just basically guiding them, giving them the principles of life. And I always say, success, exceptional surprise to achieve that success. So dedication, commitment, and discipline, like I said. And I thank God, because they have imbibed those, actually helped him to achieve his goal of having 9 A1.
Okay, I would like to reintroduce our speaker, our proud daddy. You might be thinking he's just an ordinary, daddy somewhere. This is a super achiever himself, and you can tell from his strategy. You can tell from the way that he has promoted principles of chunking, your goal achievements, chunking your daily strategies. He talked about, if you want to study mathematics, you have to look at how much of it for the day, how much for the week. Well, we're speaking to no other than the once upon a time Chief Information Officer of so many organizations. I'm going to let him talk to us about his career in a minute, but you can see that the apple does not fall far from the tree, because Benson Akpati himself is a super achiever. He is a computer science graduate of University of Benin from over 30-something years ago, and he's rose in his career across different industries, the financial sector, Chief Information Officer. Benson, why don't you share with us briefly some of your own accomplishments, just as an encouragement, to parents that are watching. So let's just give you some time. Let's talk to Ozhioma, and we'll come back. Hopefully you will be in a place where we can hear you better. back to today's hero. Wow, our youth ambassador, our WAEC ambassador. Now, tell us, what are some of the memorable experiences that you've had? What are some of your life experiences that have brought you to where you are today? Share with us.
Well, I feel that around eighth grade, I changed schools. I moved from one school to another to the Ambassador's College, and I moved schools because I wasn't really doing well academically. I was in a very bad spot, you know, and then it was a very, very, very big decision, you know, to change schools at that early stage. So the thing was that it all worked together for good. I changed schools and immediately I picked up. I started doing better. I started feeling better about myself and what I was getting. So I think that was great, a memory event that really helped to achieve this result.
Wow, you were not doing very well. So once upon a time, this our 9A1 ambassador, you know, was not doing well. What does that say to you and I? What does that say to you, our listeners out there? What does that say to our youths out there? What does that say to our parents out there? Indeed, that is very encouraging. Indeed, it says to us that at every point in our lives, where we are is just a snapshot. It's not the end. It's not the destination. Whatever we are experiencing at any point in time does not define us. Ozhioma Lucan Akpati, by the eighth grade, tells us he wasn't doing well and he had to change schools. And he remembers, he still has a memory of that strategic decision. He describes it as, he said, it was not an easy decision. It also tells a lot about the family, because in some families, when the parents are even trying to guide the child might be adamant, oh, I don't want to miss my friends, you know, or the child is communicating, I'm not fitting well in this environment, I'm not doing well, and the parents might be insisting, oh, we like the school, and so on and so forth. So it's important that we must collaborate in this journey of raising God-fearing, handsome, humorous, intelligent, smart young men for God and others. I want to mention something else that stood out for me as I spoke, as your dad shared his perspective. He talked about prayer. He talked about after you guys have, you know, articulated your goals, you know, how you also, he encourages you guys to chunk those goals, to break them into manageable sizes, into achievable sizes and all of that. He mentioned something important. He says you pray as a family and present those goals to God. It's so unfortunate that the internet connection today where Benson is not favorable. But I guarantee you we will bring him back because he has an amazing story himself. A story of going from chief information officer from an IT background to agriculture, where he's making waves, computerizing agriculture for Nigeria, for Africa. So we will bring him back. We're not hearing him very well. And so we will let him come back on the show and tell us his own wonderful journey. So Lucan, what are your plans for the future?
Well, I'm going to the university. I plan on studying computer science in the university. I really want to, you know, make an impact in the world using computers. I have started learning some programming languages. I've started learning some, you know, computer science stuff, and then I'm really enjoying it. And then I hope to really change the world with what I can do.
Oh my God. First of all, you changed the world with this performance by challenging our youths. And that's not enough. You want to change the world by going into technology, into IT. Do you know specifically what branch of IT you're interested in? What, you know, what aspect of technology you want to apply to which industry, to which world problems? You know, how exactly are you looking to use technology to change the world? Do you know?
Well, looking at the different like branches of computer science, I really found a knack for artificial intelligence. I really
Mm,
like it. So like I like to one day, produce some, robots maybe that will help like
wow.
will like help reduce the mortality rate in the world, help save lives either in the battlefield or medically, or I just want to save lives and help people around the world.
Oh my God, AI save lives medically, in at war. You already thinking way ahead of your peers, way ahead of your age at 17. My dear, at over 50, I still don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm still struggling to find out what I want to do. Indeed, when I grow up, I want to be like you, Lucan. Awesome. It's so comforting and encouraging to hear a young person who knows what he wants to do even before he goes out into the world, into all the confusion and beyond. I like the fact that you were not even talking in the sense of a particular subject. You were talking in the sense of meeting a need. And I want to encourage us out there as our children explore careers and all that. It's important for us to let them understand that an education is basically a bridge, a pathway towards fulfilling our dreams, our ambition, our life's purpose. He has so much clarity about his purpose to save lives. And what that means is that whatever he applies himself to in the future, he will be successful because he will have that goal in focus. He's starting with artificial intelligence. I dare say that there are going to be some other opportunities that he will possibly leverage towards achieving this goal. So let's help our children, let's help our youth, clarify their goals, their visions. Let it not be about, oh, I want to study ABC. Let it be beyond what you're studying. What is the end goal so that we can navigate and look at all the ways that you can achieve that goal. I also like the fact that you're not even yet in college, but you're already exploring the career of your choice. You're already, putting tools in your toolbox. That is so awesome. Wow. So tell me about scholarships, because I'm assuming that scholarships are flying left, right, and center. Tell me about celebrations. Who is celebrating this success and how have they celebrated it?
Well, we started applying to schools. First off, we started applying to schools once I received my IGCSE results. That was like last year in November. But some schools denied me, any admission because they didn't really use that result. So when my WAEC came out, we applied to some schools, and I've gotten a scholarship from University of Saskatchewan.
Um,
Yeah, to study there January. So we're still looking at more options. We're still looking at more scholarships, more admissions. So
just hold it right there. Did you hear him? If you're watching, viewers, if you have any information, if you have any links, resources, connections to rewarding this young man for his stellar performance, 9 straight A1s. In our system, that's a GPA, the highest GPA that is attainable. I want to encourage us to reach out. You could reach out through me. You could reach out through our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. Let us direct him to where the scholarships are. Let us direct him to where they will celebrate him so that we can encourage him. And not only him, so we can encourage other youths that are working hard, that are looking to be like him, so that they will understand that in the adult world, we recognize accomplishments, we celebrate accomplishments. So if you're watching and you know about scholarships, you know about grants, you know about, awards of excellence, let us channel these to this wonderful, young, handsome, smiling, humorous, smart young man. And now tell us about celebrations. How many aunties and uncles have sent you, checks and dollars and naira and all of that?
So I've been appreciated, I've been celebrated. A lot of family members have contacted me. Lots of people that I don't even know, but they're part of my family. They've called to thank me, congratulate me, pray for me, wish me many more successes, many more achievements. It's really wonderful to have such a supporting community around you. It helps you to feel like grateful, helps you to feel achieved. At least like the work you're doing is being appreciated.
Wonderful. I'm going to take a moment right now and I'm going to join everyone. First of all, in praying, because I like the fact that you said they've called you, they've prayed for you, and all of that. So I just want to ask God to bless you. I want to ask Him to allow His face, His countenance to shine upon you, upon everything that you're going to do in the future, upon everything that concerns you, concerns your academics, concerns your vocation in life, concerns even your future family life, that He will give you a wonderful family, that you'll be the kind of father that your father has been to you, and He'll give you a wife that will be the kind of mother that your mother has been to all of you, a mother to your children. I pray that He will grant you increase on every side, that He will lift you from one level of glory to the next, that your career will be growing by leaps and bounds on a day-to-day basis, that you will be on the global agenda, that you will be saving lives and solving problems and being a solution to global issues, that even where your father stopped in IT, you will take it to the next level in your accomplishments. You will be CIO of global Fortune 100 companies and of your own enterprise, and everything else that you and your family wish for, I ask the Lord to grant in the mighty name of Jesus. And in addition to that, we ask you to accept our little token, very little token, and it's Naira. So don't be offended. Accept our little token from Lucia Charities of 25,000. It's very little. It will not even be able to buy a recharge card or data for your internet. But we want you to just be encouraged by the love with which we share this. Just because we have a lot of people that we celebrate, we have a lot of commitments and all that. If it were the way that we feel, the excitement we feel, this will be reading 6 digits, or more. So we ask you to accept this with the same love that we have shared it, with the same love with which we have presented it. And we congratulate you. And we ask the Lord that this will not be a unique success streak, that this will be success that will attract so many more successes, that this will be success that will go ahead of you and make a way, that the Lord will send destiny helpers even today, and even as people watch this, that he will move people's hearts and minds and favor towards you, so that your journey will be sweet and will be smooth. Amen, 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 amen. Now let's see whether Daddy has better internet and whether he is able to join us once again and share some closing words and closing thoughts with us. Let us ask Daddy to try to connect by video. If you can hear us, could you please go ahead and start your video, and let's see whether we can hear you this time. Awesome. So we're going to bring back our Daddy to give us, it's clearer now. You may want to talk a little bit about yourself and give us some closing words for parents, for young people, on how to achieve this success, how to give God the glory, how to celebrate and acknowledge the success, and, everything about our children's future. Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. First, talking about myself, I consider my life is all about solving problems. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we're hearing you this time. Yes.
Okay, so I consider my life is all about solving problems, and that is what has actually worked for me. And That's why I believe I, excelled, to some extent in my choosing career of computer, because computer is about solving problems. I remember when I was 12 years old, in the town where I grew up, I just discovered that it is difficult to locate people's houses in the community. So what I did was basically to just rally around all my contemporaries, my peers, and said, look, we need to number the houses in our community. And it was like a joke, but we did it. And up to today, that is a number that is over 40 years now. That's the number by which people, the houses are known or located in my town. So, and that has followed me. And that's why I like this whole discipline of computer science, because it's all about solving problems, solving human problems. Not through the time I worked in the banks, I rose to the very top of my banking career as a general manager, or what you call the chief information officer. That's what helped me. I was so much sought after. Even when I was trying to leave a bank, they didn't want me to go. The man wanted whatever, the MD then wanted whatever you want. I said, no, my life is not driven by money, but by value. I told the then MD, that I'm not leaving this bank because of money. I'm leaving this bank because there's another bank that needs my service to create a value there. So he wanted anything I wanted to double my salary. I said, no, that's not the point. My life is not driven by money. So I'm so grateful for my son, that they also have identified that there's great potential in the area of technology, because that's one of the areas by which human challenges can be solved. So, and I want to say this: our role as is continually inspire and guide our children, push them, but also know the boundary and the limit in order to put them under pressure. For example, there are times where even Ozhioma, or Lucan as it's called, has not done exceptionally well as I expect. I always tell them that I know you can do better than what you've done, but that is all. I don't try to put them under pressure. So even after saying that, next moment, and good enough, somebody like him is in his past. My parting word will be put from somebody I don't know who have. You must be willing to keep a blind abnormality. You must be disciplined and determined to make a sacrifice of immense proportion. That is my parting word, and that's of immense proportion. Thank you.
I'm smiling because when you talk about keep a blind eye to certain things in life to the point of abnormality, I'm smiling because our viewers may not know it, but Benson Akpati and I are classmates. We both studied computer science in University of Benin over 33, 34, I don't even know. How many years ago, Benson, was that?
That's we graduated in 1990. That's 31 years ago.
Okay, 31 years ago, and we were there. Yeah, together 4 years. So 4 years behind that, we met 35 years ago in Uniben. And that is for you the model of focusing even to the point of, abandoning everything. He was so focused, and he was one of our smartest and one of the very best that our computer science 1990 class produced. And I can see Ozhioma, winking and having all kinds of, eye expressions, because I'm sure that he has experienced in living with his dad all the encouragement that comes from a father who is an achiever himself, a father who is a model of hard work, of structure, of systems. You can imagine that in that house, they were practicing systems engineering on a day-to-day basis. We're going to be leaving in a minute. Ozhioma, can you give us your words of encouragement, your advice, and give us some last words for youths that are watching you, for young men like you who are trying to achieve the kind of success that you have achieved? Give us some last words for them.
Well, I just want to say that, if you're trying to, achieve a certain level of success, you need to know yourself, know your pattern, know what works with you. Not because person A did something and it worked for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So you have to look in, dig deep in yourself, and know what works for you. Also, stay righteous. Always do the right thing. It's going to help you. It's going to take you a long way.
Oh my goodness. Are we looking for the next TEDx sensation here? Are we looking for the next motivational speaker produced from all the way in Nigeria? Oh my God. Did you hear him? Know yourself, dig deep within you. If something worked for someone else does not necessarily mean it will work for you. And I dare add that know your success formula and work that formula until you get to that promised land. He also talked about staying righteous and doing the right thing. And at this point, I just want to pause in a sober moment and talk to our young people and encourage our young people. As Ozhioma just said, as Lucan just said, do the right thing. It will never hurt to do the right thing. It will never hurt to be righteous. Recently, I heard about the sad event of some kid being bullied and, the loss that followed. If children will go to school and do the right thing, we will not have such unfortunate circumstances. We have children that go into all kinds of, excesses, all kinds of tendencies. We have children that go into all kinds of abuse of substances. All of this will not happen if we will focus on doing the right thing, if we'll focus on being righteous, if we'll focus on representing our family, representing our parents and the values that they have raised us with. I dare say, Lucan Akpati, Ozhioma, that as you go on to the next phase of your career, I want you to know that we expect a whole lot from you. I want you to know that we're going to hold you by these words that you have spoken today. I want you to know that the success you've achieved is just the very beginning, that the Lord has set you for great things and for greater heights. I want you to know that everything that has worked for you before, you need to even do more. You need to even up your game. Your game is already up on a 9 A1 streak. You need to up it beyond that. And we know by the grace of God that you're going to continue to make us proud, that you're not going to go to Canada or USA and forget who you are, forget your values, forget these words that you just shared of being righteous and doing the right thing. And we know that 4 years from now, we're going to celebrate your graduation, maybe even, in a shorter time frame, because you're smart. You might just do it in 2 years. But I want you to please invite me to that graduation ceremony. And at this time, I'll let you do a shout out to your parents, to your mom who is not here with us, to grandparents, cousins, and all family members that have encouraged you. I want you to thank them and do a shout out to everyone. You could mention names, you could just generalize, but everyone who has been a part of your success, go ahead and do a shout out for them.
Well, I want to first thank God for giving me this. My relationship with God has been, so exceptional. I just want to thank Him, and I continue to give Him the praise. I also want to thank my parents. Thank you for your support. Thank you for what you've done for me. I am very grateful. I'm grateful for all my family members, everybody that prayed for me, everybody that just continued to help me. I'm thankful to my school, the proprietors of my school, the teachers, each and every one of them, each and every staff member, academic and non-academic staff. I'm so grateful for all their help and helping me to achieve this.
Oh my world. Oh my goodness. Look at the way you started. I said, thank your parents, thank your mom, thank your cousins. And look at this young 17-year-old remembered to put God first. And did I hear you say you have an exceptional relationship with God? And did I hear you say it with pride? Did I hear you say it with so much conviction? God bless you, my son. And I pray that any young person watching today will not just watch this as one casual interview, but will watch it as a challenge to do different from whatever they're doing right now that does not measure up. That they will watch it as a challenge to embrace God. And like this, our young 17-year-old be able to boast someday of having an exceptional relationship with God. At this time, let me see if internet is going to permit us to bring back our daddy. If not, oh, awesome. Proud daddy. And mommy is somewhere. She's not able to join us. Look into the camera as if you're looking at mommy and tell her those sweet words that every mother would like to hear. Call her by name, mommy, Mrs. So-and-so, I so-and-so. So yes, give mommy that honor today.
This is Yemi Akpati. I love you.
Yes.
I love you for what you have done. And, you know, raising children, raising all the boys that are in the house is not easy, and sometimes it gets very frustrating. I know I do, Asha, we can all be frustrating. Each and every one of us has our different issues. So I love you. I love you for the work you're doing. Thank you.
Oh my God. Did you say raising boys? Are you not, is there more? Are there more boys? How many of you?
Yeah, we're actually like four in the house.
Boys. Do you have
Yeah,
any sisters?
we don't have any girls.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Mommy, what's her name? Yemi?
Yes, Mrs. Yemi Akpati.
Mommy Yemi Akpati. Both are for you. Plenty both are for you. Because we know that when it comes to the nitty gritties, when it comes to the dotting of the I's and crossing the T's, it is a mother. There's none like a mother. So I give you kudos for this young man's accomplishments, even as we acknowledge our daddy, who we normally call ATMs. The daddies are the ATMs and the mothers are the hearts of the hearts. Thank you, Benson. Thank you, Yemi, for giving us this wonderful, son of yours, for sharing your son with the world, for sharing his success with all of us as an encouragement to our children, to our grandchildren, to our generation. Thank you for giving us today's hero in Lucan Ozhioma Akpati. At this time, I would like to thank our audience for watching. I hope we have been inspired, and we're going to bring you more from heroes around the world, and we'll continue to inspire one another so that we can make our world a better place. Thank you all, and God bless you all in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Bye, everyone. And thank you for coming on the show, Lucan. Thank you, Benson.
Thank you.